is that better? There we go. Thank you, Jeremy, so much for that wonderful introduction. And thank you for putting this conference together. I'm really excited for what we have to offer today. There's a lot of really good speakers. Are you guys excited? Yeah? Come on. Are you guys excited? Come on. Get some energy going. There you go. All right. So like Jeremy said, we're going to be talking about action today. And the way I'm going to go into that is by starting with sharing my own story, mine and Christian's story. This is my business partner up here, guys. Say hi. So my story started about when I was 20, maybe 19, 20, somewhere around there. I was going to APU. I thought I wanted to be a doctor, so I was taking their pre-med classes. And it's kind of funny because like high school and even like community college when I was going there, I was always that kid who just got like C's and D's and kind of just skated by, never really tried. And then here I am trying to become a doctor. So, and I did it because my parents and my grandparents really wanted me to become a doctor, and I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. But in reality, I really had no idea what I wanted to do. And so I'm going through there, and school just really wasn't for me. And there was a lot of things. So for the first time in my life, like I was super, super stressed. I'm a super like laid back, like easygoing guy, and like I was stressed to the max. And there's two kinds of stress. There's the good stress that makes you gets you fired up and excited, and then there's the stress that like brings the anxiety and the dread with you. And that's what I was experiencing. And the reason I was experiencing that was because my grandparents, bless their heart, my grandma's a nurse, and she really wanted me to become a doctor, so she actually co-signed my student loans for me. So I had that on my shoulders, right? Because they're going through retirement, they're not going to be able to pay for my student loans if something goes wrong, if I flunk out or whatever, right? And then on top of that, at APU, this program that we were taking, you were only allowed to get 2 C's out of all the classes that you were able to take, right? And I'm a C student, so I was kind of freaking out about that. And then my friends that I was hanging out with kept saying, like, you got to get straight A's, otherwise you're never going to get into med school. And like, there was just all this going on. So I remember for the first time in my life, I actually started having anxiety attacks during this part of my life. And I remember for like this one time, I was having a really bad anxiety attack. And I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I was all stressed out because I had like 3 tests and like 2 papers all due the next day, and I was freaking out. And I don't know if you guys are religious or not, but I remember praying that night and just saying, Lord, if this isn't for me, please let me know right now. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to deal with this for the next 10 years. And I'm okay with that, but if it's not for me, I wanna know now because I don't like this. And so I got up and I went over to my computer, and I went on YouTube because that's the way I study. I just like to watch YouTube videos. And and so I'm watching this video, or I go and start like bringing up some biology thing or whatever, and this ad comes on. And it's funny because I have ad blocker, and so I don't like ads. I always skip ads. But this one actually came through, and it caught my attention. I started watching this ad. I started taking notes on it, and it was about mindset. And of course, at the end of the ad, there was a program to buy, so I bought the program. And long story short, over that last semester, I started watching this program and following the steps. And by the end of that semester, my whole mindset was just changed about everything. And I actually ended up dropping out of college and starting my own company. And that first company, long story short, it just ended in a disaster after a few months. A few months later, I met Christian, my business partner, and about a month after meeting him, we started Urban Vinyl, which is the headphone company that Jeremy was talking about. And that's how I knew Christian was a good business partner, because he took action right with me. He was like, yeah, let's do it. And we started that day that we talked about it, which is cool. And going through all this ups and downs with Urban Vinyl, we've learned a lot, and we've been very fortunate enough to learn from some really great people. And now we've been fortunate enough to start a second company, which is marketing for real estate agents, and we're going to be starting a third company here pretty soon, investing in real estate. So, but we've learned all that through our failures and through taking action, and even though that we're not where we're at right now, we're learning from our mistakes and trying to grow. And so there's going to be 4 key points I want you guys to learn from taking action. And the first one, before we get into the first one, we got to define success, right? Success is different for every single person. Some people just want to lose 100 pounds. Some people want to be a billionaire, right? It doesn't matter what it is, but everybody has their own definition of success, and everybody has a reason why. You got to define your why. And defining your why is a very important subject that I'm not going to get into today, because today we're talking about action. So assuming that you already know your why, that's what's going to help you drive your belief, and that's the first point. If you guys are taking notes, belief is the first one you want to write down. So when you have a why that convicts you so much, you believe it in your heart that you're going to make it, right? Whatever your vision of success is, or your goal is, your belief is going to help you drive you that. Or if you don't have a good enough why, or if you don't have a good enough reason why, or whatever, it's going to help you drive the opposite way, right? You're going to say, oh, I'm not cut out for that. I'm not going to be able to do that. And so your belief's either going to limit you, or it's going to unlock your next one is potential. Okay, everybody in this room has the potential to do whatever they want in their life. But based off your beliefs, that's what's going to limit your potential. And if you don't have a good enough reason why you're doing what you want to do, or a good enough reason why that you want to get to whatever it is, maybe financial freedom or starting a family, getting a house, whatever it is, if you don't have a good enough reason why, you're going to limit your beliefs and say, that's not cut out for me. And you're going to say what everybody else is telling you, which that person was born lucky. That person was born into it. And they're just going to fall into that victim mentality where you come up with an excuse and you tell yourself a story and a reason why you're not going to get there. Or you can have these beliefs and say, you know, even though what everyone else is saying, I'm going to ignore the naysayers, and I'm going to keep going for it and keep hustling. And that's going to start getting momentum. That's the third one, momentum. You're going to start building momentum, and there's going to be small wins at first. You're just going to win a couple, and then you're going to win a couple more. And these small wins that you win every day are going to lead to big wins over time. I mean, Christian and I, we've failed, I don't know, for almost 2 years before we even started making money. And you know, we're sitting here stressed out all the time, like, how are we going to support ourselves? How are we going to pay for our bills? And now we're finally at a point, because we kept at it, to, you know, where we actually are starting to sustain ourselves, you know, and we're growing continually every month, which is, thank God for that. But it's the momentum that keeps us going. You know, every day when we see even just a little win, even if it is just like a $50 client, you know, we're like, all right, well, that's nothing else. You know, now we can get another one, you know. Or on the opposite, like, so I'm going to use my friend, I won't use his name, but my friend in high school was a really talented athlete. And I always told him, dude, you can go pro. Like, you're so good, you're so talented. And he always said, no, I'm not good enough for that. And so now it is, I graduated in 2012. Here it is 5 years later. And you know, he stopped training because he didn't think he was good enough. And then he stopped exercising, and then he started eating really bad. And so now he's overweight. And he now, if he ever does go play his sport again, he's gonna be like, see, I'm not able to do this anymore, because his belief and his mindset and his momentum has sent him down the wrong path. Versus someone like Michael Jordan, who got cut from the high school basketball team, didn't believe what everybody else said, and he kept at it, and now here he is, one of the greatest players of all time. So it's just your belief and your mindset, and that's gonna, the final part, that's gonna drive you to your certainty. You know, when you see all this momentum and all these wins coming out, you're gonna be certain that you're gonna achieve your goal. Or you're gonna be certain that you're not gonna achieve your goal, right? So there's, I think I'm gonna cut this a little short because I know we're running on time, or we started a little late, but there's 2 points that I want you guys to go home with. Okay, are you gonna be the person who's gonna make excuses and tell yourself a story of why you're not achieving what you wanna achieve? Or are you gonna be the person who learns from your mistakes and keeps at it every single day, no matter what happens, right? And then the last thing I'm gonna end with is a quote from Tony Robbins. You guys know who Tony Robbins is? Yeah. I love Tony Robbins. He says, make today not like yesterday, and tomorrow will be different forever. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe. You could also see the rest of the speeches on the channel. Enjoy.